Ever have communication with Jeffrey?
No.
To your knowledge, has Jeffrey Williams ever asked anyone to shoot up a home?
No.
And from your observation, Rich Homiequan and Jeffrey, although maybe sad, they were getting along, right?
I mean, I told them everything was still like normal. Like,
Did he pay for your lawyer?
no.
Did he pay for any bond?
No.
He didn't contact you, right?
No, and I ain't contact him.
Your relationship with Jeffrey wasn't this, he's the gang leader, right?
Nah, it was never that. I already told him he wasn't like that. He ain't get involved in stuff like that.
If you're new, make sure y'all hit that notification bell, that like, share, comment, and subscribe. Grab a seat. We finna dig deep.
What's up, YouTube family, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your boy Jay, and man, y'all know we back with another major update in this Young Thug YSL trial. Now, for the past couple of days, we've definitely been paying attention to the state's witness who's on the stand, Lil D. Now, Lil D, just like all the other witnesses that we've seen, was supposed to actually come and help finish painting the picture for the state's narrative and put that icing on the cake. But unfortunately, again, another witness lost by the state. Now, either the state has a horrible list of witnesses, or the state's definitely just still reaching, trying to get this conviction. Was the state putting this witness up on the stand a gamble? Definitely a reach. But before we dig deep, if you're not subscribed to the channel, definitely subscribe to the channel. That helps the channel grow. And man, tap that notification bell so you'll get the drops whenever we drop. Y'all know the vibes. Grab a seat. We finna dig deep.
Do you know whether Kenneth Copeland told you that he was not getting along and was in a big fight with Shelkel?
Before them days, he had already been told.
That's what I'm asking, but I can't hear you. And tell the jurors.
I say before them days, he had already told him.
Okay. And when you say before them days, those days, Mr. Copeland was already in an argument, like that's my word, with Shelkel. True?
Yes.
A disagreement, right?
Yes.
And it was violent. True?
Yeah.
They would shoot at each other at times, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Kenneth Copeland told you that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Same with Donovan Thomas. Kenneth Copeland stole from Donovan Thomas. You're aware of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He broke into his car, right?
Yeah. I remember that.
And he took his identification. Remember that?
I think it was some jewelry or something like that.
Okay. Mr. Copeland also took the peanut chain. Remember that?
Yeah. I don't know what it was. I just remember something about some jewelry.
It was jewelry. All right. And Donovan Thomas later found out that it was Kenneth Copeland who stole from him, right?
Yeah, I think he ended up giving it back or something like that. I don't remember too much of that.
That's fine. And you discussed that with Kenneth Copeland, right?
I don't know if it was directly with him, but it was probably around him.
Or Mr. Garlington, right?
It was one of them, yeah.
And all that then also includes Kenneth Copeland being beaten, embarrassed at Club Crucial on January 6, 2015. If you don't remember the date, just say I don't remember.
I remember that. I remember him getting fined, though. I don't remember the date.
Okay. And Kenneth Copeland you saw him after the fight, right?
Yeah.
He had a knot on his head, right?
Yeah.
Black eye.
Oh, yeah. I think I was swollen or something like that.
Okay. And this happened at Club Crucial, and Kenneth Copeland was mad. He told you that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Your own observation, Jeffrey Williams was friendly with Donovan Thomas. True?
Through
That's
the
all-
roadie?
Wait, go ahead.
You know what?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I told, yeah.
That's true, right? Tell the jurors.
Yeah, I've been told him that.
Okay. And Jeffrey is doing his career, right?
Yes.
And Kenneth Copeland doesn't ask, to your knowledge, Jeffrey for permission to get into an argument or fight or shoot at anyone, does he?
Wait, he a grown man. He ain't gonna ask the man. I mean,
You
grown.
You got to speak slower to the jurors.
My bad. He grown. I mean, you know, you grown. He got it. Like, he don't control nobody.
Okay. And you also told that to the police, right?
Yes.
You were asked, I started, about Rich Homiequan. You know who that is, right? The performer?
Yeah.
His name is Mr. Lamar. Do you know his real name by any chance?
I don't know the real name.
Okay. And you were asked, and I think you said you don't remember, so don't worry about that. But I want to talk to you on and after March of 2015, if Jeffrey working with Rich Homiequan, okay, in the music field. I want to focus on that, okay? That's what we're focusing on. You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. By 2015, were you, did you go to Europe with Jeffrey after the rodeo tour ended?
No, I think I was locked up already.
Okay. You knew he went though, right?
Yes, I
You
heard about it.
Okay. You knew he went twice in 2015 to play in Europe, right?
And foundation.
Objection, what?
Speculation and foundation.
Well, he's asking if he knew or not, so he can say yes or no. Overruled.
I remember hearing about one of them in 15.
Okay. By that time in 2015, tell the jurors since that time your interactions with Jeffrey Williams.
Since I've been in prison,
Since 2015, you made bond one time, right? You got out, then you were rearrested, right?
I ain't saw him again.
I can't hear you. Not too
I
much.
haven't seen him since.
So since 2015, approximately, we're talking about April. Is that true? The first time you got locked up, then you made bond? May, sorry. To this day, you had zero means no, communication with Jeffrey Williams. Is that true?
I mean, I've been locked up the whole. I just got out with last year before last.
Okay, so the year before last to now, do you ever have communication with Jeffrey?
No,
While in custody, do you ever have communication with Jeffrey?
no,
Did he pay for your lawyer?
no,
Did he pay for any bond?
no,
He didn't contact you, right?
no, and I ain't contact him.
Right. Because your relationship with Jeffrey wasn't this, he's the gang leader, right?
Nah, it was never that.
So let's talk about the state's key witness. Now, this witness definitely has a long history tied to Young Thug and the alleged YSL crew. But here's the kicker. They haven't had any contact with Young Thug in almost 9 or 10 years. And not only that, but also they're dealing with this medical condition that the state already knows pre-existing. Now, the state has, as you've seen, been very careful to manage throughout this trial since this witness been on the stand. But ask yourself this. When it comes to the state's narrative about this alleged RICO case, would you consider this witness to be an asset or a liability when it comes to the case? Let's dig.
And you told that to the authorities, right?
Yes,
And when Kenneth Copeland is telling you about, and you know about crimes he's doing, that's not at the behest. That's a bad word. That's not to your knowledge because Jeffrey Williams asked him to, right?
Objection, that's speculation, and that would be just speculation.
To your knowledge, has Jeffrey Williams ever asked anyone to shoot up a home?
no,
To your knowledge and information, tell the jurors if you have any information, did Jeffrey Williams ever tell anyone to murder someone?
I already told him he wasn't like that. He ain't get involved in stuff like that.
To your knowledge, did Jeffrey Williams even know about the killing of Donovan Thomas until it was broadcast afterwards?
Afterwards, he knew afterwards. What else you said?
And you were asked by the lawyer Love, and if you don't remember, just say, I don't remember the question. But you were asked whether Jeffrey Williams acted normal. I want to talk to you about that. You saw Jeffrey Williams at his Sky House condo later in the evening of January 10th, 2015, going into the early morning hours, maybe better, January 11th, 2015. True?
Like early morning, like
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's the next day.
yeah, like 4, 5 in the morning, something like that.
Okay. So it's Sunday. And if you don't remember the date, just say I don't remember. Sunday, January 11th, 2015, right?
I don't know exactly what day it was.
All right. But you saw in Florida Jeffrey and Rich Homiequan together, right?
Yeah, they had like 3 couple shows back to back in Florida.
And you went to them, right?
I went like 1, 2.
All right. And this is after the, God forbid, the killing of Mr. Thomas, true?
Yes,
And from your observation, Rich Homiequan and Jeffrey, although it may be sad, they were getting along, right?
I mean, I told them everything was still like normal. Like
No matter what was going on with you or other people and drive-by shootings, that had nothing to do with Jeffrey from your vantage point. Is that true?
no,
Am I right?
yeah, you're right.
So let's talk about it. Now, this was a definite W for the defense. Come out and lead with the most impactful information early. That's how you do it. This is exactly what I was saying. Had the state used this approach, we might got a little bit further. We might be about 5 witnesses down. But since they didn't, we still stuck with little details on the stand. Now, with little details up here giving the information and going back and forth, what he did just do is actually crumble the state's narrative that Young Thug and Rich Homiequan actually were at odds before the passing of Rich Homiequan. Now, we keep hearing that, but ask yourself this. Have you seen any evidence that showed that Rich Homiequan and Young Thug were actually at odds? Have we seen the connection that Young Thug was actually the one responsible for Big Nut? Or, let this sink in, was it the people around them that just didn't see eye to eye? Would that not make it kind of interesting for the people internally? Would it not explain all the separation and the cutoffs going around from both sides, all sides that are involved? Let that sink in. That was definitely impactful, and you definitely got to salute the defense for coming out and hitting strong. Let's dig.
Now, I want to talk to you about a a performer known as Dwayne Carter. He performs by Lil Wayne, okay?
Yes.
You know his music?
Some of it.
Do you like his music?
Yeah.
All right. From your observation, does Jeffrey like his music?
Objection, speculation, foundation.
Overruled.
He love it.
I can't hear you.
He love it.
Jeffrey loves Lil Wayne's music. Is that what you
Yes.
said? Okay. And you knew this back in 2009 when you met Jeffrey, or 2008, whatever the year is. True.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it, do you know what the word idolize? Do you know what that word means?
Like look up something,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Is that something how you would describe Jeffrey with Lil Wayne?
Most definitely.
All right. The detectives on August 5, 2015, as well as by the DA's office and the detectives, do you have any information that Jeffrey Williams knew that that tour bus would be shot before it was shot?
No.
Do you have any information that Jeffrey ordered, asked for? If I'm losing you with my word, just say I'm confusing you. I'm not trying to. The shooting of that bus.
No.
Do you have any information that Jeffrey was fond of, was happy that that bus got shot?
No.
In fact, Jeffrey was the opposite, right?
Speculation.
Sustained.
Do you know if Jeffrey was upset that that happened?
Objection, Your Honor. It would still be speculation.
Sustained.
I want to talk with you about, remember Lawyer Love asked you questions about Free Roscoe?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. And Roscoe, do you know his given name, Jimmy Winfrey?
I don't know his real name.
I can't hear you.
I don't know his real name.
All right. I'm going to call him Roscoe for now. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
And you told the jurors that you're aware that he pled guilty. Do you remember that?
Yes.
All right. Now, do you remember speaking with law enforcement, specifically Detective Dennis, Detective Gaither, about the Lil Wayne tour bus shooting on August 5, 2015?
Yeah, I remember.
I can't hear you.
Yes, I remember.
Okay. And is it true that you told them that you didn't think that Roscoe did the shooting?
Yes.
And is it true that Detective Dennis immediately told you that he agrees?
Yes.
And that's on the recording of August 5, 2015. It might be on March 3rd, 2017 as well, but it's on the recording, right?
I guess.
Okay. Do you have any information that Jeffrey Williams knew that that tour bus would be shot before it was shot?
No.
Do you have any information that Jeffrey ordered, asked for? If I'm losing you with my word, just say I'm confusing you. I'm not trying to. The shooting of that bus.
No.
Okay. But it was discussed during your recorded interviews with the police, right?
Yeah.
So is it safe to say that the state's narrative is crumbling? Now again, still just came out and led with the most impactful information. First, we talking about Lil Wayne, then we go to this incident with the whole bus. Not to mention that Jimmy Winfrey's charges were actually overturned and he was actually released. But even more interesting, the state's narrative is that Young Thug ordered all of it to occur. But after listening to the testimony and the actual questions coming from YSL Still, ask yourself, if the mob boss isn't financing the crimes, he's not ordering the crimes, and hadn't had any contact with half of these individuals in almost 10 years, where's the furtherance? Where's the RICO? And where's the connection? Association is the connection, or is it assumption? Either way, they both start with AS, and the state, as we see, is definitely making an ass of themselves. Another one down the drain. 2 pieces already done, and it ain't even been 30 minutes into the day. Let's dig.
About this. I want to talk to you about the rental car. It's an Infiniti G35, okay?
Yes.
You know cars? Are you familiar with cars?
Yes.
You like cars?
Yes.
All right. And you were physically inside that rental car, right?
Yes.
And the only information you know about that rental car comes from Kenneth Copeland, true?
Yes, I told him I never saw nobody else in the car but him.
And Kenneth Copeland driving the car, right?
Yes.
Would you ever, it doesn't matter, I guess, there may be a relevant objection, but did you ever drive that rental car?
No.
All right. And who's the last person that you ever saw with that rental car?
I went to the studio that night and Copeland still had the car.
So as you see, the defense actually just shredded the state's narrative in 3 different directions at one time. But here's the major twist. Despite all this, the state keeps circling back to the demise of Big Nut. But why is the state so stuck on trying to connect the dots on Young Thug's involvement? And it almost makes you ask yourself, is it harder to prove than it is for them to let it go? But what's even more interesting is that with the witness on the stand and being under immunity, the state is struggling to prove any direct connection between Young Thug and YSL when it comes to that crime. And let's not forget, there's actually no statute of limitations on unalive. So is the state still playing chess? And let's be real, did the defense actually just help line the witness up with the state? Because remember, even with immunity, the unaliving the Big Nut is still an open case. Let's dig.
They went to get the guns because Thug was the money. They were going to protect Thug.
I mean, it wasn't just because money. Just like I told you, if you want me to tell the truth, I'm telling you, it ain't because him. Didn't nobody walk back to the door and get him.
Huh?
Didn't nobody walk back to the door and then or back in the club to get him.
Okay.
He walked on his own.
Okay. And I understand that, but that is what you told the police, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you told them Thug was the money, you meant Thug was the one that sort of gave money to you, all right?
You get no money like that. You better ask for some gas money or something. He ain't just getting you no money.
Okay. So what did you mean when you said they went out to get the guns to protect Thug because Thug was the money?
I mean, as in, he ain't have security with him that night.
Okay. Let's just say Miss Love playing right now. We just gonna say she didn't learn from the other day when the judge told her, hey, ask relevant questions. Now maybe this was a relevant question. Because if this was actually a relevant question, then it definitely explains why we're in the RICO. But if you hear what you mean when you say Thug is the money, does that mean he was giving y'all money? Like, I don't even, where did you even hear that at? Like, when Trump is out or other celebrities out and they got security, the object or the goal is to protect the money. What's the purpose of the lady who she has for her security? Oh, that's to protect the position, not to protect the money. Maybe I see Rico with the Georgia State DA's office, but hey, armed security is armed security, right? Let's dig.
Because why would you let him get into something if you know he ain't doing that?
One more time. What was
Because
that?
why would you let him get into something if you know he ain't on that?
And what was it that he would have been getting into? What do you mean?
Like, after fighting, like, back then, like, 9 times out of 10, probably was a shooting came behind it. And bullets could hit anybody.
Okay. Now, you said on direct, and I believe on cross, that you also knew the police wanted to know about Thug, right?
Yes.
All right. But you didn't say that Thug knew anything about Donovan Thomas's murder, did you?
No, I didn't.
So you didn't want to get out of jail bad enough to lie and say Thug shot Donovan Thomas, right?
Yes.
Yes, what?
I don't understand that. Can you say it again?
You never told the police that Thug shot Donovan Thomas, right?
Yes. I never told him that.
Right. But you believed that they wanted to know something bad about Thug, right?
Yes.
Right. Knowing that they wanted to know something bad about Thug, you still didn't say, hey, you didn't lie on Thug and say Thug shot Donovan Thomas, correct?
Yeah.
Right. Now, on direct, and I believe on cross, you mentioned that you went in there trying to protect Mootun on the August 5th, 2015 interview. Did I hear that right, or did I get that wrong?
You heard it right.
Okay, I got it right. On cross-examination with Thug's lawyer, you said that Woody was the one that had the problem with Kale. Did I get that right, or did I get that wrong?
You got it right.
All right.
Why did I tell them that?
Yes, sir.
Because I felt like it.
Okay. Now, you were asked by Thug's lawyer about seeing Thug perform with Rich Homie Quan. Were those performances were before Nut got killed, though, right?
No, when we went to Florida, I think I told him he had a showdown now.
Okay. And was that when you went to Florida going into New Year's 2015?
No.
It was after?
I think that was one time, but I'm saying like the next time we went after somebody got killed, he performed with.
And when you say you think it was after he got killed that they performed?
I know it was after he got killed
Uh-huh.
that he performed with him again.
All right. And when you say he performed with him, sometimes I know when people are performing, different acts come up. Describe what you mean when you say he performed with them. Did they sing the song on stage together?
They had songs together.
They sang them at the same time on
They had
stage?
to.
Asked and answered.
They had to. They were together. It was a song, verse, hit, verse, hit, verse, hit, verse, like that.
I'm just asking if you saw them appear on stage together. You personally saw it.
Yes, I was there.
Did you personally see them perform on stage together?
Did I see them perform on stage together?
That's the question. At the
When?
same time, in the instant you described for the jury just a second ago,
I was at the show. I just
Okay.
told you that.
you were at the show. Did you see them personally perform on stage together?
I was back there when they performing. I don't remember.
Okay.
I was backstage though when they performing. So I don't,
So is it fair to say you did not see them personally perform on stage
I
together?
can't say. I just know that when they went on stage, whatever they did, I was backstage and they went on there together.
Now, you also said you were present when in March, Thug called Rich Homie Quan on stage a derogatory name that rhymed with Rich Homie Quan.
I wasn't even like in March. I think that was that the tour. So I ain't even stay that many days, and I think I had saw that on Instagram. That was a lie.
Why did you tell the police that you were there? Because the police asked you how you know, and I'm going to use this horrible name and word because that's what you said. Didn't you tell the police that in March 2015, Thug called this gentleman, Rich Homie Quan, he used the name Bitch Homie Quan, on stage in public to talk about Rich Homie Quan?
I never heard him say that. It's not that's something I just heard. I never heard him say it. Why did I tell him that? I don't know.
I'm just asking you, did I get it right? You did say that, right, to police?
Yes.
And in fact, you told the police that you were there personally and you saw it, right?
I couldn't have been there.
But did you tell them that?
Probably.
Okay. Now, did they ask you to tell them that?
I don't know.
So let's talk about what did we actually learn from the state with this witness compared to the witnesses that have been up before this witness? Let that sink in. Now, does it not feel like the state is actually trying to squeeze whatever they can out of this witness? But even with immunity, the testimony is actually falling flat. Now, the defense has completely flipped the narrative, showing that Thug hasn't been paying for any bonds, attorney fees, or any orders. You gotta ask yourself, where's the furthering? And does the state still have a clear point to say that Thug is actually the mastermind when they've no actual evidence tying him to these crimes in these years? Make that make sense. And to be fair, I haven't been wrong about a single witness yet. So ask yourself, what's the state's end game and what could happen next? Will the state double down with their pressure just to get the conviction? And was Lil Details just another epic fail for the state as another star witness? Or did he actually say too much while he was up there on the stand playing the victim? And to dig a little deeper between him and Woody, who was really the state star witness? Is this case just a play from the state, or is it really actually just crumbling right here in our face? Have you seen Rico or beyond a reasonable doubt proven by the state? And if it's so easy to prove and so evident, why continue adding witnesses from the state? So what y'all think? Did the state just run a play? Did they actually just have us all thinking that Woody was actually the state star witness when they really had little details in the cut, playing in position? Man, in my personal opinion, the state actually proved nothing with this actual witness being up on the stand. We went through almost a week of wasted time. The hype was built up. So again, like the jury, well, we all misled to think that one witness was the witness when the whole time this was actually the state star witness. Let that sink in. Now, the defense, on another note, did come out and get everything proven with their points. The state again failed to connect the dots with Young Thug and richhomiequan. They failed to connect the dots with Big Nut and Young Thug. They failed to connect the dots with YSL actually being the gang. Again, we got introduced to a witness who got individual charges. And what does he say? The exact same thing. The charges was actually dropped. What charges? The one that they call gang. Make that make sense? Is the state not still reaching for straws? Or is this just another play from the state? Man, y'all jump in the comments, let me know y'all's thoughts. Did the defense actually do their thing? Did the state prove anything when it came to the gang, the furtherance, or conspiracy? These men sit in jail for years, no bonds, no phone calls, no chains. Did the state again fail to connect the dots? It's alleged YSL conspiracy as a gang. Man, y'all make sure y'all jump in the comments. Let me know y'all's thoughts. Tap that notification bell so you'll get the drop whenever I drop. Hit that subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel, and definitely help get those likes up because they help the channel grow. Till next time, remember, the life you save might be your very own. It's your boy Jay. Gone.